Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Foolery. And today we are checking out the Loyal Subjects Best Action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Alopex. Is this Foxy? I'm sorry. Hit the theme music. So guys, let's check out this Best Action Loyal Subjects Best Action Alopex from TMNT. I really did like the TMNT figures that came out. They were comic book based. I really do love the way they look. So let's see if this Alopex toy is worth the money. But before we do that, as we always do, let's see if this box is better than your mom's. This box better than the box he was held in. On the front, we get a really big window so we can see Alopex and the Best Action Loyal Subject logo on the front. We get to see all the accessories. It's a really big window. Nothing on the top. Window to see the toy. Looks like the card disconnected from the back of the card, back of the box. But we get one picture of Alopex, which looks really cool with her growling and looking like she's about to rip someone apart. Then we have her thinking. Cool. On the back, we get some artwork of Alopex on the back. Really wish the eyes match this photo. That would have been dope. But I'm already excited about this toy. It looks really good. And yeah, the box. I got two pieces of artwork. It's already a win for me. And once again, they know that this is something that has multiple sources. So it makes no sense not to have more than one photo. So kudos to Loyal Subjects. This might be one of the best action figures. Anyway, let's crack this thing open and find out.
Oh, what's in the box?
So in the box, we get Alopex, looking really good. We get a pair of her Kasurugama, and I'm probably butchering how that's pronounced, but that's the best you're gonna get from me. We get two sets of paws for her. Paws. We get a alternate head. Would you like to focus? Awesome, 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 awesome. Would Mills have shot you for this? Absolutely not. This is a really good set of accessories for this toy. We get alternate hands, we get alternate heads, and we get some weapons for her. So I can't complain. And we get a trading card for people who are not as big into this comic as they are into other ones, so you get to know who the character is. But let's check out the design on this lady and see how it stacks up to the other Ninja Turtles in the line. Alopex has some really good design, but there are some things that I'm already a little wary about, and that's more in a articulation thing. And we'll have that discussion when we see if this thing can squat. But if we look at the paint on her face, it looks really good. I like the way they have the cloak. It's not quite soft goods, but it is soft enough to give it some malleability. Her white fur is crispy white, so it'll probably bleed into a nice lovely yellow being in the sun too long, but that is expected with toys that are pure white. Design wise, it's kind of plain. This is a white fox with a couple of pieces of armor. Basically the whole body's white. They put a piece of armor over the chest, put a cloak on it, and that's it. Not much to it, but let's get a close up on it and look at the finer details and see how this thing holds up. And as you can see from her face, the paint work on her face is really good around the eyes, but once again, it is just a piece of white plastic with a lot of paint, a lot of focus on the eyes. Make sure we make that nice and sharp. Even though I do appreciate it, it's a couple of blotches there and here, and that's it. Then we get some nice design on the armor. Now I'm not sure if this is supposed to be, but I have a scratch here on the forearm. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a piece of armor that was fought with, or if I'm missing paint. But we do have battle damage on this arm, which is really cool. On the back, we have her cloak. Her cloak is textured and looks really good. And if you look at the back, it's tattered. Her tail has some really nice articulation. We'll talk about that if she can squat. And then if we look at her paw, look at the detail in the paw and in the way her foot is situated. They really did a good job in making sure that it looks like she is a fox and she has the ability to move like one. I really do like the way this toy looks. It looks phenomenal, even if it's a little bland because of how little the design is. Where I felt with the turtles, they had small details to the shells, to the carapace, and to just their bodies to make them stand out. This being a smaller figure, it doesn't look like they have as much detail, but where they did put detail, they did a really good job. Let's see if this thing can squat. Alopex has some really good designs that I would like to explore, but one of the things that I noticed when I took it out the box, and hopefully it's just my unit and not other people's, her shoulder joint, it is loose. Like, it'll catch, but it's no resistance whatsoever, and it makes me wonder about the quality of the joint. But that's neither here nor there. Let's see if she can squat. She can lift her arm up full 90, and because how ginger that joint is, I don't want to put too much pressure on it. She has a upper bicep swivel, but even a little bit of pressure on it, as you can see, it's starting to separate from the joint. Part of the problem with tiny figures like this. She does have the double jointed elbow, swivel in the wrist. Nice. Same thing here. Let's get your arm up. She does have a double jointed knee, which is really cool. And even though her thigh can't get that high, she can get into a fairly decent squat position. Helped a lot by her tail, but still a squat position nonetheless. Tail has some nice articulation. She has articulation connected to her butt. And oh, I thought because of the cut here, I assumed that it could move, but it cannot. She only has articulation. Then why would you do that? Did you use this tail on someone else and then just change the tip? Okay. So unless and I'm not going to force it because like I said, ginger with it. Be gingerly with it. Only the tail connected to the butt is articulated, but you do get some decent articulation out of it. Does it have a thigh cut? It's the same thing. Yes, it has a... Ooh, I didn't do it. It wasn't me. So, yes, she has articulation, but you have to be very careful with her because that hip joint is not very strong, so you're not going to get much articulation out of it. Do you have toe articulation? No toe articulation, but you do have a ball in your foot to give you a little bit more range when you're posing her. And she does have a upper torso swivel, not a ball. Or if it's a ball, it's super... Oh, okay. I didn't mean to do that on purpose. The ball is in here. I was trying to move this and it actually moves here, but the way they have the ball, it doesn't give you much range because it's so deep into it that you have to probably shave out some of her upper torso around here so that it can get the full range you're looking for. And she has a waist swivel. So can she superhero land? Maybe. I don't know. This is the first time that I've had a toy that was had some articulation, but not all of it. Superhero landing, not quite. The hip is not going to give you the range that you're looking for to do it. And her upper torso, even though she does have some range in it, the way it's cut, she's not going to bend any. This is the best you're going to get. But I think you can get away with this because she's supposed to be a ninja, even though I would like her to do a superhero landing. I can live with this. Put her Kusaragami in her hand and then have her do some cool landing poses and things like that, especially with her mad face on. That would be cool. But yeah, some limitations, some QC issues, or just a little poor quality made issues, but for the most part, fairly decent. Let's talk about money.
More money, more money, more.
So Alopex goes for $21. Really good price. I really do like the pricing from loyal subjects. Sometimes I feel a little gypped, not because of how the toys are designed, but just because I feel that sometimes the quality is not up to it. And you're like, hey, I'm paying $21 for this. I don't expect my arm to be wiggle, 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 waggly. And my arm is wiggle, 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 waggly. Okay, so let's wrap up Alopex. The box for Alopex is actually really good. I love the design from loyal subjects. As for the design, Alopex has some really good details and some fine details to make it worthwhile. Can she squat? Unfortunately, no. And her body is actually held up mostly by her tail, which is also a hindrance and a stand for the toy. As for money, this thing is going for 24 bucks on most of the sites that sell loyal subjects. So go get it. It's a decent toy. And for my final score, I'm going to give Alopex a 6 out of 8. The Alopex is a really good toy, a really good design, but the fact that she can't squat and she's being held up mostly by her tail is pretty unacceptable. It's a good price toy, but it has its limitations. Anyway, that's it for me. I'll catch you in the next toy review. Peace.